You got your mic working yet? I am now. Just turned off the party chat in the stream just so that I can get you working first. Like, can you hear me? Tangerine? Hello. You there? Oh, yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, hang on. I'll put it on now. Can you include your audio? And then once you have, just say something so I can check on the stream if you're coming through.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
I don't know, it's kind of quiet to be fair.
I'll turn your volume up.
Yeah, just do it to 200.
Right. Do you want to introduce the stream or?
You know what? So yeah, so basically, Thursday evening we've got tier 6. It's round 3. It's Bahrain. 15 corners at least, I believe, 4-mile long track. Let's get the title preliminary up, and we have got the Alpine. It looks like, or is it the Williams? It is the Williams of Hettis going out first on their outlap, and they seem to be considerably ahead of the rest of the pack, so we will see a time being put by the Williams driver on some soft tyres. Right, we've got some people going out on into tyres, of course, doing some warm-up laps to get familiar with the complex layout, especially at the hairpin of Cancan.
As now Hettis comes around the final corner to begin the very first flying lap of Tier 6 in Bahrain. I believe an Alfa Romeo just ahead of him on track. He'll let him by later in the lap.
And now we have most people clearing out of the pit lane as we see Red Bull going wide at 3.5, but just skipping across the gravel to mind out of the way of the Ferrari driver. Yeah, of course, on the intermediate tyres, we've got 6 drivers opting for the intermediate tyres to start out, so obviously they're not going to do a faster banker lap. Of course, mediums are a bit faster than soft tyres at certain times in Bahrain, so we might see a lot of people doing their fastest lap on those medium tyres instead of the soft.
So now the Williams of Hettis is just about to finish his lap, coming around the final corner now. What's the banker going to be for everybody else to beat? It's a 31-1 from Hettis here. With the next person to complete a lap being GSRL Alpha right behind us. That's a 30.1, a whole second quicker than Hettis. And it's a 29.9 from Leo. And it looks like that's going to be the lap to beat here, for Q1 at least.
Yeah, and pretty decent lap to start off with. Of course, we had a pole position yesterday, being just below a 129.0. I believe it was a mid 128. So,
What tier was that for?
Yeah, that was for tier 3.
Ah. Tier 3's a 29.0 for pole, and he's doing a 29.9 in Q1.
A 28 point.
Oh.
Or around that.
Moment, I've got no clue who's next to set a lap. It looks like it's going to be no, it's not Poms in the Ferrari because he's weaving on the straight.
And we have got a lot of people opting for a surprise. One of them is Dragonflies in a McLaren, starting their first banker flying lap, and let's see what they will do as they go around.
Yellow flags is... oh, it's just an Aston going slow.
Now Dragonflies are setting the pace through sector 1. They've got 29.1 through there, and now what could they do through sector 2 as they go around the bend of turn 8. And we've got quite a short run down to hairpin. And they do quite nicely to the outside inside curve, getting them a good getaway. And here we go, we've got 1 out of 3 DRS zones at this track, and now enabled in DRS. Going about 190 miles per hour, and now around the bend of turn 11 and 12. They seem to be going nicely in the McLaren as they set the fastest sector 2 times. So they are clearly finding pace where everyone isn't, and this seems to be quite a nice banker lap to start off with. And on the up to P3 with a 130.6, not that impressive of a time from a McLaren, although it is P3, but totally knocked down to P4 is Joshua on those mediums, finding pace more than a surprise and going up to P3 with a 130.4.
Cammy Boy goes across the lines, that's a 32.7. The slowest of the slick runners, not just the softs. We look on to TTV Vaxi, who's set at 29.0 in Sector 1. It's a purple Sector 2. We'll see where he can put the Williams here in Q1. As the McLaren of Schmiffy's just jumped up to P3 with a 30.4. .8 for TTV Vaxi.
And very interesting here, we've got GSRL Alpha going out on the wet tyres.
Didn't believe it when I first saw it, but Lucas. Oh, never mind. Just went to spectate Lanky Lucas and he left the session right as I did so.
Right, another driver on the soft tyres. They seem to be going quickly as of the moment, and that is the Haas of Beefers. As they go around turn 11 now, high speed, third sector in Bahrain as they set the fastest second sector. What do they do as they get a good release from turn 13? Now down to turn 14, and what do they do in the Haas? Could it be a best lap time? They seem to be going fast now, enabling DRS follow along main straight, and it is up to P3 for the Haas driver with a 130.3.
Poms in the Ferrari not far behind him, just about to finish his lap on mediums. It looks to be about a 31. A 31.0, and that puts him P9, the quickest of the medium runners. Actually, well, I do not know who set the laps on mediums. Never mind, it wasn't the quickest of mediums because Joshua and DP Roberts set laps quicker on them.
And now we've got MAR Harry, and a lot of people yet to set a competitive lap time. Of course, MAR Harry will be a good option to win the race, having won it last time out in Austria. And could they replicate that again in Bahrain? Of course, very different circuit. But we've got both Red Bull drivers currently in the drop zone, so they'll be having to find improvements. And the only driver yet to set the lap time is, of course, Lanky Lucas in the Mercedes. And now Camry Boy, I believe, they didn't set a competitive lap time on their first lap, and now they are going into the pit lane. They are currently going very slowly, and I believe they don't have enough fuel.
Just cut back to on track. There's two drivers, both in the drop zone, with yet to set competitive lap. Just coming around the final corner now. GSP Noah sets a 30.9, and I did not see where. Oh, Jude goes P3 with a 30.2. That will be a very safe lap for him here in Q1. DP Roberts is 3/10 up in sector 1. Taking a wide line of narrowly avoiding beaching it into turn 10 there. Using almost all of the track here as he goes around turn 11 into 12. Seemed like he was a gear too high there, but we'll see where the lap can put him. As he's now heading down the final straight into turn 14, then onto the home straight he will go. Looks like it's going to be a 130 point something, I reckon. Oh, it's a 29.8, and that's provisional pole for him. Jude's going slowly to let the Red Bull past in sector 2. Alpha's still out there on the wets for whatever reason. And I believe at the moment Jude is the only person on a lap. Maybe Harry is as well. I don't know how Harry is. We'll see what he can do. As you said, he won a race previously. He could be looking for a pole here. Using all of the curb onto the entrance of turn 8 there. Always a bit of a slippy exit though. He loses the rear. Nice tight line into turn 10 there. And it's a great exit onto the straight. Yellow flags ahead, as I believe that is probably Alpha on the wets going slowly. It's a purple sector 2 from him. He's 3.5 seconds up in the first 2 sectors, so we'll see whereabouts he can put the Red Bull.
And they actually
go
have
around
to mind
the outside of.
Yeah, they just have to mind up the way of the AlphaTauri, but they did get a good slipstream, and now they're going to go across the line. It seems to be good enough for PA. Not the fastest lap time from the Red Bull. We will of course be seeing improvements from that, but we've only got a limited time of now under 2 minutes left in the session, and a lot of people now rushing out to complete their final flying lap, and one of them is Mr. Oddbod, and they seem to be going just all right through sector 2. It is a
only 2 tenths up.
But as you say that, they've gone fastest through sector 2 with a 1 second improvement to go. Pretty nicely.
Well, my game must just be glitching then.
But now Alfa Romeo will go across.
He's got a lovely slipstream here down the main straight. It's a 30.1. That puts him P3 behind his teammate. Both of the Alfa Romeos very safely into Q2, it seems here. Who else is about to finish laps? I don't know.
This is an interesting one.
Oh, Joshua sets a 29.7 for provisional pole. I didn't see that happen. I was watching the Haas behind him, who is now starting his lap on 3-lap-old soft. I don't know whether he'll make an improvement at all. The Alpine of Neutral Khan is just about to start his lap as well. A lap he desperately needs to be able to get into Q2. His teammate, I believe, about to start one too, because he's 2 tenths down on his previous time. He won't make it through. He does have to set another lap. But he's not going to make it.
Someone who really is on the cusp is Dragonflies, as we have the second flag.
Yeah, and that's HS Moore in the Alpine out of qualifying in Q1. Not able to set a second lap.
And that is
Cammy Boy also out, as he's on 5-lap-old softs for some reason and did not set a competitive time.
Neutral Khan isn't going the fastest through sector 1. They're going to have to find some tenths to improve on. But will it be
the driver at risk here, typical G, is 4 tenths up on his previous time. He's looking to improve to make sure he gets through. It's P5 for him. As we now look back down, Dragonfly's the driver at risk. He's not going to set another time, so it just takes Noah, who does not beat him. Now it's all down to the Alpine of Neutral Khan to knock out the McLaren of Dragonflies. That's the only other position we can see change here. Comes around the final corner, he's keeping it nice and safe, and it's a 30.9. He doesn't wait, no, did he improve?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
By 2 tenths.
He improved, but he did not gain any positions to get past Dragonflies. And that's Noah, Neutral Khan, HS Small, both of the Alpines in fact, Cammy Boy and Lanky Lucas out in Q1. Lanky Lucas yet to, well, not yet to set a lap. He did not set a lap at all.
And now it is double disappointment for Alpine. We've got both drivers out in P17 and 18. And that is very unfortunate for the Alpine team.
Well, considering they are, well, Tier 6 Alpine are at the moment on 0 points, this is not what they wanted as any steps forward. And they will, from the looks of it, stay at 0 points unless they manage to make up quite a few places during the race.
And now we have Joshua top in the session in the Mercedes and pretty comfortably as well. Over 1/10 in that was the gap to P2. And apart from that, it looks very, very close between P1 and P15. We have some very competitive lap times being set, and who is yet to know who will take pole position. It could still be anyone. As now we head into Q2 session, and I believe we will have 15 minutes in it. Yes, we do.
I can see multiple pit crews sending people out now. Looks like quite a lot of people coming out at the start of Q1. Is that a McLaren first out? Yes, Dragonflies is going to be the first one out on track. Williams behind him of Hettis. And I can't see who's behind that. Oh, the other Williams. That I can't spectate for some reason.
What, are you like driving?
No, it just showed a blank screen. It was just pointing at the pits. There was no car. There's Alpha again on the wet tyres. I don't know why, but he is, and he's leaving on them.
And if you are putting your money on someone, this guy, Smithy, would be quite a safe bet, finishing P2 and starting on pole position for Austria. They seem to be wasting absolutely no time and going out on those soft tyres to clearly do a competitive lap time before anyone else.
Pettis takes a very tight line in 2. That's going to gain him a lot of time if it worked for him. .1 sector 1. Oh, but that was really wide into turn 6 there. Turn 6? Maybe turn 5. One of the two. But it was looked really wide, and that could have lost him a tenth or two there in his lap. As he now comes into turn 10, it's a nice line. No lockups. If we look behind, I see someone's gone off track. I believe that's the McLaren of Dragonflies. on the exit of turn 10 must have gone deep and then ended up off the track, so he's had to rejoin safely, which could have lost him time. Is he invalid? No, he's not, so. Pettis' lap looks like it's going to be beat by Joshua here, as he's had the slipstream all lap and he has closed that gap down quite a bit. Around the final two corners, where can they both put it? Pettis sets a 31.3 and then Joshua beats that with a 30.0. Dragonfly is almost a second down with a 31.0. Oh, actually, oh yeah.
And now we've got Alfa Romeo, who seems to be on the flying lap. Let's streaming the Red Bull across the lines. They both go, and it is P1 for Leo, second the fastest lap time of the session so far with a 129.7. Making out have some
great
ahead, and going across 10, 14 and 15 now. Seems like they've got quite a skirmish exit, but across the line they go, only up to P5.
Is anybody else on a lap at the moment, other than Alpha, but I'm not counting him. I believe Alex might be. Don't believe I spectated him at all in Q1. Just went under my radar completely. We'll see where he can put it. This is always really deep into the final corner there, and he's gone off track. That's going to have lost him a lot of times. He's caused yellow flags in the whole of Sector 3. It's only a 31.6 for him.
And Haas will be the next one to cross the line, and what? I believe they're starting the lap. Yes, they are starting the lap. On some medium height.
Pom's the only other person to be on a lap at the moment who just went, well, after turn 8, he had quite a little drift around the corner there, lost the rear quite a lot. That's going to lose him a large chunk of time, I imagine.
As we have both Haas in sync, and now typical will start their flying lap also on the medium tyre, so they seem to be going quite nicely right now, just setting a banker lap, and it might just be more than a banker lap, because Steepers has set the fastest sector one time of anybody else, and those mediums, all of them seem to be working great.
As Pom goes P4 with a 30.9, not a lap I was expecting to be that high up, as I saw his rear step out quite a lot. Did he give the slipstream there to his teammate as well? I don't really know. But Jude now starting his second lap, must have been disappointed with the 31.2 he set before. .5 in Sector 1, that's not going to be a competitive lap time if he keeps it like that. He will have to go out on a new set of softs once more later in the session. As FIFA's just set a 30.8 on the mediums, that's quite a lap, considering he's not on the softs like everybody else is. Typical G also says a 30.4 on the mediums. If he's doing that on the mediums, I do wonder how quick he'll be when he goes onto the softs in Q3, because he might not need to on in Q2 here.
we've got most drivers opting to go into the pit lane now. As we see DPR Roberts on an outlap, what did they do as they go around at turn 11 now? Very nicely from Aston Martin driver there, following the Haas. Oh, who is that? Is it called P? Yes, it is, and I might just get a small slipstream if they don't come into pit lane.
I imagine they will though, because they set the lap on the mediums, an incredible lap at that, and yeah, he is peeling into the pits now as DP Roberts starts his lap. I believe Hettis in the Williams is also starting a lap behind him. It's a purple sector 1 from DP Roberts. I don't believe that's correct though, because I saw someone said a 28.9 I believe earlier. I might be mistaken though.
And now that is DPR Roberts cutting very aggressively past the curb of turn 10, and that just actually does not get them the best exit. As I believe they're not going to settle the fastest exit 2 times, but they might prove me wrong. And yes, they do.
Well, that's a very quick sector 2. The other people I've been watching have been at like 109 after sector 2. That was a 107.8 I believe. This could be a very good lap.
Of course, they were downgraded from tier 4, I believe, a matter of days ago. So they might...
Well, I would not have expected him to be in tier 6, seeing as I would have said he's around my pace and I'm somehow tier 4, so...
That is a pretty fast lap time from DPR Roberts, but still they are topping the session with that banker lap time.
Hettis sets a 30.3, which puts him P4. Should be safe with a lap like that. Don't think he'll have enough time to go out for another one anyway, so... It's now Mr. Oddbod here, coming across around the final corner. It's a 30.0, which puts him up to P3. 700s ahead of Joshua in the Mercedes. And I believe there's a Red Bull behind starting a lap. Yes, Harry now. Him and Schmiffy, the only 2 on laps. Schmiffy's set at 107.9 in after sector 2. So he's looking to be around the 30.0 mark. Very neat final corner there. Around turn 14 and into 15. And yeah, it's a 30.0, which puts him P4. Only 4 thousandths ahead of Joshua in the Mercedes. I don't know what happened to Harry, but he is not committing to that lap I thought he was on. Alpha is now on his out lap. He's only going to have 1 shot at this to get through. DP Roberts is confident with his lap and he's retired from the session.
As now we see people retiring from the session, but Alfa Romeo of Mr. Oddboard is one of them. But is that a fast enough time you'd expect, as the cutoff is about 1 second up on their time now? I should say down.
Alex was 7 tenths up after sector 1, so he's looking to make a large improvement.
And I was riding on board with Dragonflies who seemed to tap the back of the hash going through turn 8, but they move as Tom's now starting a lap onto a Ferrari.
Oh, Alex sets a 107.9 in after sector 2. That looks like a very good first half of the lap. He could be on for a top 3 here quite easily. It all comes down to the final corner, which he doesn't use much of the curb there. Trying to play it safe, it seems. Comes across the line for a 30.2, which puts him P6, which might not be a safe lap. We'll just have to see though. There's Harry and Poms both on a lap now, very close to each other. I would have expected Poms to have given more space when starting his lap, but
and I believe that was Harry momentarily going fastest in the second sector, but that was shortly snatched by the Ferrari of Poms right behind, and they both seem to be on pretty good lap times. One or two little pops, and it will be Poms going up to P3, and Harry is out.
Harry's out!
I believe it was because they were on old soft tyres, 2 laps old now. So they
Jude is out as well. Both Harry and Jude are out in Q2.
Beefers is improving quickly, but they'll have to have a clean up from now on if they want to get through. First 10 up, as we have Joshua going top with a 129.3, and that is miles ahead of the rest of the grid.
Typical G now, the driver at risk. Coming round at turn 14 now. Doesn't look like the best exit, but he's going to come across the line for what looks to be a 130. Oh, it's a 129.8. That puts him P3. A very safe lap from him there, which now puts Alpha's out in Q2 as well. He's on a lap, but he doesn't have any ERS to work with. And now it all comes down to whether Harry can set a lap, but he can't, as he finished his lap the last one he went on.
And that is a huge disappointment.
The Williams very close to having a double knockout there, but instead only one of them, being Hettis, is knocked out in P11. Alpha going out on the wets at the start of Q2 and for most of Q1 might have been a stupid decision, as he's only got one lap in Q2, and that's also him out of qualifying, along with the McLaren of Dragonflies, the Ferrari of Jude, and the previous race winner of MAR Harry.
And now we see everyone coming into pit lane, Poms as well. And it is time to start the most important session of qualifying, and that is of course Q3, and we have got 10 drivers in it. Still all to play for, but we do have a good hint at who might top of the session and get pole position. Of course it is Joshua in the Mercedes, as they seem quick through Q2, especially quicker than the rest of the grid.
And apparently, according to Oddbod, one of our mics is fuzzing a bit or something, so I'm just going to go to the stream now to check whose it is.
I'll do some commentary while you... Ooh.
Well, mine sounds fine on there.
And Joshua...
I mean, yours is slightly muffled, but it's easy to tell what you're saying, so...
I do have it quite close to my face. Maybe that's why. Move it. That's the bit.
Yeah, he said it was you. But he said it's fine now, so... Fifas has been kicked from the session, he's asking for an invite. I'm sure someone will get him in. So I believe that is Alex, the first person out on track, followed by Joshua? Yeah. And then Leo in the Alpha. So, who do you reckon's going to get pole?
I think it's going to be DPR Roberts. I mean, they already raced around this track, I believe, once in Tier 4. And maybe they're just sandbagging through Q2. I'm not quite too sure, but they definitely have more pace than this, as I believe they were way faster in, what was it, qualifying last time in Tier 4 earlier this week, and they would have raced around this track way more times, so that's definitely more race pace and experience for them.
Do you know what lap time he's setting qualifying then?
Didn't know it was good, but I think they made it through to Q3, or right on the cusp, P11.
Well, judging by Q2 and that lap Joshua set, which was miles ahead of everyone else, I reckon he's got a very good chance of pole here.
Well, DPR Roberts did make it to Q2, unfortunately couldn't make it to Q3, so I believe they'll have a good chance. If they can set a P12 to start the race in Tier 4, maybe they can go ahead and get pole now. Seems to be, their form is quite good in Tier 4, so maybe that will carry through into Tier 6, as who is it going slowly? It is the Alfa Romeo of Mr. Oddbod. I believe they lost it at turn 3, going into gravel, but that won't really matter since they're on that lap. Everyone going up on soft. Some might not be new soft tyres. But everyone...
Joshua says a 29.0 in Sector 1. I believe that's... I don't know if that's the quickest we've seen, but... Oh, he loses the rear there in turn 8. This might not be his best lap of the session as he loses the rear again in turn 10. Maybe a little bit of a setup issue there. We'll have to see. The Alpha's giving a half toe down the back straight. Leo being the one on the lap. Yeah, Joshua's at a 108.1 after the first two sectors, which doesn't look good compared to the previous laps we saw in Q2. It's a 30.2. Definitely not the pole lap we will see, as he did set 29.3 in Q2. As Leo now goes fastest with a 30.0. Alex not far behind Joshua with a 30.3. Then it's Vaxi to set a 31.6, not a representative lap. As DP Roberts goes pole with a 29.4.
Well, what did I say?
Pole. typical G in the Haas goes P2 with a 29.9. Still a 5/10 gap to the lead.
It really does seem like DPR Roberts is way too quick for Liz to lead. I mean, they of course did grab P7 on Monday, so P7 is a pretty good result in P4. So I'm not quite too sure why they're in this league. A 129.4 is quite good, but it could be better for Aston Martin driver.
Well, I don't know if we can say it's way too quick for this tier, seeing as Joshua's at 29.3, only in Q2. So I don't believe a 29.4 will be the fastest lap we'll see today. But it's certainly a very strong banker for him.
It might be because they gone out on new tyres. You can't see necessarily, but that might be one of the reasons.
Pom's the next one to finish his lap. He's got a 107.8 out of sector 2. Oh, and that's an Alfa Romeo round at turn 1 I've just seen on the map. I believe that is Mr. Oddbod just starting his lap as well. It's a 30.1 for Poms, which puts him P4. Again, 7/10 slower than DP Roberts. So not the best lap so far. And I believe that will be, unless Oddbod goes for another lap after this, it will be everybody in the pits until the very last few minutes. As he's maxing out the revs in gear 2. I don't know why, but
And Mr. Oddbod, the only one being on their competitive flying lap now, and Keepers as well is still in the pit lane. They haven't set a lap on yet, and has Mr. Oddbod abandoned that lap? Yes, they have. I believe they abandoned it.
yeah,
before.
Mr. Oddbod's going to come in. He's not going to risk setting a lap now, as he probably wouldn't be able to get back out on track again. So now we're going to have a quiet minute or two as we wait for everybody to go back out on track and set their final laps here.
The one thing I was saying is, Bahrain might live up to its name. I've had 3 races yet commentating on, and it hasn't rained yet, but it could rain. There's maybe a 5% chance of it raining in the race across all the leagues. Maybe it might rain. Of course, it's mostly dry around here, but could possibly rain. Of course, it hasn't yet.
Well, with it being a desert, I would imagine it won't, but you can never say never.
Well, it is on the ocean, it might, you know, go tsunami.
Well, I did actually, in, I believe, F121, I got back-to-back rain races at Saudi Arabia, so things can happen. As I've just realised, FIFA's did get kicked from the session earlier, and that's why he's not set a lap in Q3, and apparently the lobby's full and he can't join due to it.
God, I think one of us might have to leave you now. Whoopsie.
Well, it'll be probably an engineer or just somebody come to spectate who has joined the session, and that's why he can't get in, but...
And they will not set a lap time in Q3 because of it. A big disappointment. Paula has it all looked good for them. Both cars through into Q3, but now FIFA's will start P10 most likely. And who will be the first to cross the checkered line to start their final flame lap? It might just be this guy. Down in 7th, currently they're going to need an improvement if they want to start higher, of course, and they might just get it since a 130.5 might not seem representative enough as they enable DRS and DRS to go down the very long main straight in Bahrain, reaching about 205 miles per hour now. Through turn 1 very nicely. It seems to maybe riding the curve a bit too much to their liking, but they continue through into turn 4. You want to go as close to the inside as you can, and that is what they've done. Is it going to be a good sector 1 time? Yes it is, and they've gone purple through sector 1. It seems to be fast from the McLaren driver.
FIFA's a 107.8 after the first 2 sectors. It looks to be a 29.9, maybe 29.8.
And Mr. Oddbot has gone off at turn 8, and that will not be a good enough lap time as they are now out of the session, not making an improvement, and that is guaranteed dismissal.
29.7. He's up to P2 for now.
Aston Martin next across the line.
I don't know which one it was. Alex
P5.
with a 30.0.
Now P6.
Typical G sets a 29.8, goes P3. I believe on Mr. Williams set a lap.
Joshua is going fast,
4th.
and he's going purple.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Get him moved up.
But DPR Robert Hubert staying at basically the same lap time, and could he improve for the 3rd sector? No, not an improvement, and
that's Poms to go P3 with a 29.7. 2 people not to set laps in Q3 here, although Oddbod will be able to set a well, very, very slow lap if he does go across the line.
Oh geez, I mean, going into Q3 I did not expect this.
And what a lap by Oddbod as he goes P10 with a 2:21.
Well, he did improve by 1 place, he's P9.
Oh right, yeah, P9.
And I did not expect this. Josh taking pole by 0.5 of a second. And Oddbod getting P9, 52 seconds off the pace. They're going to have a good chance tomorrow to go and win the race, of course. but for now, not great. As we have Poms, followed by DPR Roberts, occupying the top three, as well as the Doss, who took pole by quite a considerable amount, rounded up to 5/10, and that is a hell of a lap from Doss. Poms and DPR Roberts as well, separated by quite a bit, but then further on from P8 to P3, you do have quite a gap, quite a small gap.
I believe we might end up having a restart as FIFAs can't get into the session still. And FIFAs is in, so I believe we're all good to start now. Is a formation lap on in GSRL?
It probably isn't. It wasn't for the past 3 rounds this week, so I don't believe it is now.
Okay.
Be prepared. No, it isn't.
Oh Jesus, 5 red lights already, and and it looks like it's a great start for Josh here as he's pulled away quite a large amount. Poms and DP side by side into turn 1.
And now the Williams
Big
on the
dive
inside
from
of
the
Alfa Romeo.
Oh!
The Alfa
And the
Romeo's
Alpha
rear
Tauri
wing as
got
the
spun
Alfa Tauri
around.
is 10, spinning that turn 1, and now the Williams being forced out and forced across
Oh, and
the
somebody
gravel of
stopped
turn
on
3.
track there. That's Mr. Oddball. What's happened to him? He's just stopped.
And
Don't
we
know
got
what
the
happened there with
McLaren
this.
was losing it at turn 4, but they kept it going, and for now it is a good start for Josh. The top 3 remain as it was, but difficulty right on the tail of the Ferrari, and they might be closing and closing to the back of the Ferrari. They're both, of course, on hard tyres. The top 2 opting for the mediums, so they are going aggressive to get a good start away.
Because if we look at the position changes now, in the first few
And
corners,
the has
top
on
3
the
have all,
inside of the Ferrari, they back out of it.
as I was saying, the top 3 have all stayed in the same positions. A big loss for the Williams of Vaxi, as I believe he was the one off track. He lost 6 positions. Oddbod's down to last as he lost 11. And the main winners here are Dragonflies, Jude and Noah, who have all gained 5 places off the start. There's Alphas now side by side with Jude into turn 14. And there's a bit of a
The Ferrari might have
questionable
been
overtake.
forced out. Smithy now easily past the half, and they might be looking towards the Ferrari. Yes, they are making a lunge down the inside of turn 1, and they have pulled that move off, but have they gone a bit too wide? The Ferrari has
there's the Ferraris
crashed
round!
out at turn 2. And was that the Ferrari going
That's a
into the half?
nightmare for whoever it was, Poms.
Poms
Because
and
he's now, well, the biggest loser. He's lost 16 positions. Lucky to not be in last as Oddbod decided to stop
and the
track
Ferrari
at the
goes
first
on
few corners.
inside of DSP Noah, and they crash and collide, and the Ferrari is spinning and spinning at turn 6, and dropping now down to P19 and P18 for Ferrari.
As now, if you look back up, the Williams and Alpines are fighting.
The McLaren trying to switch back
Or just
on
be
Alex,
overtaken
and
by
now
Jesus Christ.
being forced to back off. Alex is going quite slowly here, and that allows Dragonflies down the inside. Aston Martin isn't going to try and fight that one, but they might just do as they go on the inside now. The McLaren can't come back to it.
He's trying to stay there quite a lot. Oh, this is a big moment there from Alex. Look at the traction updates in this game means he still gets a decent exit, despite the large amount of wheel spin he just had.
and the top two only separated by 4 tenths, and they seem to be gaining a lot.
As we see now, typical G on the McLaren of Dragonflies down the main straight. He's not got the DRS yet, but he has got the overspeed with the slipstream. Both pretty similar on the brakes as the Aston goes deep ahead, and that's gained him quite a bit of time there to the Aston as well. McLaren might be coming back at him, but no, the DRS keeping typical G ahead. As Noah's just got past Fifas, who had a really bad corner into turn 4, and now Alpha and Noah fighting in the little section in sector 2, turns 5, 6 and 7. I believe there's yellow flags as there's a Williams off in the wall maybe. Yeah, Hettis is out of the session. See if we can get a view of that. Nope, I missed it all complete. No, he's not. He hit the wall, but he was not fully out of the session, and then I believe he just retired because he rage quit.
That might just be a ban retiring on track. I believe it might be. I'm not quite too sure. Purposely retiring on track. Is that a ban? Does anyone know?
I've got no clue.
But now we've got the fight for top 2 hotting up as we've got DPR Roberts. I said this guy might win the race, and he's definitely proven me right, as now Joshua is trying to change his line, and it looks like DPR Roberts knows that they aren't overtaking him.
Jesus Christ, what the hell happened? I've just got quite a few pings in tier 6 chat from a lanky Lucas.
Jeez. Wow. Invite him.
I did not notice my phone go, but I will invite him now.
Still in P16 as it goes to the car, so maybe his AI can just be continued for the rest of the race.
Oh, his Dragonflies in the McLaren's gone off at multiple corners and he's nearly spun, but he's done well to keep it there.
As it is the Alfa Romeo of Oddbod out and left spinning at turn 4. Left off turn 4, it can be very damaging for everyone.
Oddbod's having a really bad race here, it seems. Dropped a lot of positions and he's only going further away from the pack, so it's now, I believe, the closest. Oh, did I just miss an overtake from Alex on typical G? I think I might have, but they're both very close. As behind Alpha, Dragonflies and Vaxi are all battling for... I don't know what just happened. All battling for P7 as Vaxi has a really bad exit out of 13. But overtaken by 2 people.
Ahead we have DPR Roberts second the fastest lap, and then gaining on the back of Joshua. Is he going to try his luck? No, he's going to
sit behind for now. As further behind the Williams and, oh actually, 4 people all battling for P7, making multiple overtakes down the straight here. Rear-ended by the McLaren there, it seems. The McLaren's going to go for the move now into turn 4. Bit of weaving on the straight from the 2 of them, it seemed there, but that might have just been my bad Wi-Fi.
No, they definitely were weaving. As now TTV getting an advantage because of this, and now overtaking up to P8, but the McLaren is trying to fight it, and the McLaren is...
Oh, Noah's made a dive down the McLaren.
Williams is left spinning!
2 of them around! That's
and
a nasty one from Noah
done
there.
anything because of
quite
it.
a large penalty if they report it.
And
would have been a great move if he just, well, didn't kill them both.
I believe that was because of PSP Noah going on the inside, and that left Williams, I believe it was, sandwiched between the both of them. And now DPR Roberts is closer on this occasion as both of them start the main straight. It looks like the Mercedes has got a better exit, but does that even matter as DPR Roberts seems to be close enough to make an overtake. They're using all their ERS, trying to get closer, not any ERS though, interestingly. But they're still going to try and make the move, but the Mercedes outbraking them. And now we have a VSC.
He's going to go for it down Oh, hang on, what just happened there? Oh, VSC.
Lanky Lucas losing it.
And I believe that's, yeah, Lanky Lucas. After I invited him back, he managed to mess up again. So, that one's on him this time.
I'll definitely stick with the AI controlling the car. At least I don't crash.
Don't know how it was a virtual safety car, seeing as there was no one around him.
Seems to be
It doesn't
gravel
look
on
like he has
track.
damage. Oh, but Vaxi's retired in the pits, I believe. Neutral can get saved.
Double of Williams
for speeding of the
is a
virtual
headline.
safety car.
Double Williams.
Ooh, yikes. I don't know whereabouts they are in the standings at the moment, but this can't be good for them. They are P8 with only 7 points at the moment.
Yeah, they really need to find some points, and Alpine up to
This is
P9 and
not how to do
11.
it. Yeah, this could be
What was
Alpine's first
AlphaTauri of
points.
GSRL Alpha
never mind.
running wide, and inviting the Red Bull very hard.
Well, if HS Moore can stay where he's at the moment, he could be getting the first points for Alpine in P10, as his teammate will have to box for a drive-through within the next 3 laps. Is Harry now pretty close to neutral cam, the one who has to go into the pits for a drive-through. He's flashing because of ERS, and he's going to box this lap for the drive-through. That will bring him out, I believe, P14.
Right, GSRL Alpha now on the back of the Red Bull. They seem to have a good slipstream into turn 4 on soft tyres versus mediums, and they seem to have got that move done very nicely from the AlphaTauri.
He's made up quite a few places this race. I will have a look now. Yeah, 5 places so far. But both of the Red Bulls making up a total of 14 positions this race. Quite a good start for them. But the 2 in the lead of Joshua and DP Roberts are really far ahead of the rest of the pack here. From the looks of it, they will both be moved up after this race. Much quicker than the rest of the field.
But now
And will
Roberts,
DP be able to make the overtake down the main straight? He does not have the ERS to fight this battle though, as he's used it to repel other attempts at overtaking.
well, that might not even matter.
Now he's going to sit behind again. Joshua's gone a bit deep. He might be able to get the run into turn 4. No, it's a bad exit from turn 2 there, and that won't allow him to make an attack. Oh, it's typical G now, going around, on the inside of Schmiffy, down into turn 4. They're still side by side, but the Haas has just edged out ahead. And that's a wonderful overtake by typical G there. Up to P4 to maybe challenge for the podium position. Considering he's on hards and everybody else is on mediums as well, he's doing very well. Yellow flags as the Ferrari's off again. I believe that's Pons. Yeah, out of turn 7 he must have spun off onto the runoff area. Now DP's got a really good run this time down the main straight. He's going for the move. Not much of a defensive shape by Joshua as DP's gone down the inside. It looks like great defence by Joshua as he's just about to stay ahead. But will DP come back at him into turn 4? Yes, he will. And he's still not made the move. They're still side by side. Out of turn 4. Through this chicane here now. And it looks like Joshua's... Oh, Joshua's forced him off track there. DP's not going to be happy about that. But Joshua has kept the position.
I am seeing quite a dent in that Aston Martin front wing now, and DPR Roberts, will he play his luck? No, he will now stay behind. But he's going to get DRS, and he's already very close with a better exit from turn 10. What could he do? He's going to move to the inside of the Mercedes, but backing off.
Lanky Lucas has retired from the session.
And that is a VSC.
And oh, it's just in front of us now. Can we see him? Must have caught it on the curb, and then he's spun into the wall.
Spun it at turn 1. Mr. Rodbot.
What, under the safety car?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, Beefus was left again. We might need to invite him back now.
Do you have him added?
No, I don't.
I don't either.
No. And now, let's see who will come into pit lane. DPR Roberts being one of them, going on to hard tyres now. It is about the pit window, but why is it staying out? Maybe they think it's going to be a safety car. A lot of people are actually staying out. That is quite surprising to me.
Both of the Astons, though, to pit. The only ones to pit, in fact, onto the hards. This could be a great strategy for them. Because it will save them around, I believe... Oh! Wait, hang on. I'm confused.
GSRL Alpha.
Has it restarted? Because there's still yellow flags everywhere on the track map.
Not for me, but anyway, both
oh, no,
Red
never
Bulls
mind, it has.
fighting each other now. MER Harry finally gets past.
Can you try and invite FIFAs?
Fine.
He's not on Xbox. You need to add him on EA. Wait, hang on. Oh, DP pit. Oh yeah, we already... Oh, I'm being an idiot. Anyway, he's now in P8. He's just made another position on HS Moore, who's for some reason pit this lap, when last lap there was a virtual safety car. Oh, it was a drive-through. Did not see that. Alpha sets the fastest lap on the hard tyres. HS Moore and Poms now battling it out in turn 1. Moore gets ahead. The other closest battle is the one for P2. As we now see Typical G leading that bunch for quite a few laps now, I believe. Could be a great race for him. Maybe finishing P3. DP, oh never mind, that was on FIFAs, who is disconnected from the session. As it looks like we're going to see Leo make an attack on Typical G down the main straight here, as he's going to have DRS. He has more ERS than him. No, he's not. Typical G seeming to have a lower downforce setup here, as he pulls away from most of the straight. Never mind, Leo is going to make the dive. He's on late on the brakes there. He goes deep. Typical G goes for the switchback. They're side by side into 2. And I don't know who gets the DRS here. Oh, Leo gets the DRS, and that's going to help him stay ahead after making a, well, quite a large dive bomb into turn 1. And that's P2 for him. Typical G now being under pressure from Schmiffy behind in the McLaren after losing that position. As we look further down, we see Jude and Neutral Khan fighting. Oh, Jude's had a moment there. He's nearly spun it out of turn 3. And I don't know if he was just overtaken or just tried to overtake Khan. But he looks like he's quicker than him, as he is closed that gap once again. Did you get a FIFA's back in? Tangerine.
Forgot my microphone was off, but yes, I did get him back in.
Okay, good.
As now Josh seems to have a pretty good lead and a lead to first from, but Typical G and Leo is stopping them gaining on first place, and now Typical G being forced round the outside. Could they stick it? The Alfa Romeo is forcing them out wide, and the Alfa Romeo jumps the curb, and that has not given them the best exit, but that has been stuck behind all of this. Now down to turn 4, Alfa Romeo opting for the inside once again, and now going round the outside successfully, but Alfa Romeo might come back. Yes, they will. They're going to have the inside line for turn 5, and they're going to cut across the curb, and now the Haas is going to stick behind. Yes, they are not going to try a lunge into 8. As they tap the back of Alfa Romeo for good luck.
Whilst you were watching that, I just witnessed DP Roberts making a double overtake on both of the Red Bulls into turn 1,
the Red Bulls
in
have
between
been
turn 1 and 4.
Yeah.
That might have been what let him get past so easily then. As the battle for P2 still continues, DP really closing in on this battle as well. Trying to get back up to P2 on track before Joshua pits, it seems. But he should be pitting any lap now. Yep, Joshua pits this lap. He's putting on the hards, not surprisingly. Where will he come out in comparison to DP? Well, it's already behind him. It's going to be quite a long way behind him. He's going to come out in P5 behind Noah with quite a large gap. DP pitting under that virtual safety car could have pulled off a blinder here. And I can't spectate Joshua. Never mind. Yeah, there's now a 9-second gap in between the previous race leader
but will
and DP Roberts.
Last? Will they last?
Well, they're only 3 laps older, so we'll have to wait and see. I also missed Leo going into the pits, trying to perform the undercut on Schmiffy, the person he was battling for P2 then, but it would be P3 overall. Now DP's gonna make, Schmiffy's gone to the outside into the final corner here, trying to go around Typical G, and that's let DP get an incredible switch back there, and he's made the position on both of them in just one corner, and he's got the DRS to pull away. What a move for the lead. This is going to really increase his chances of winning this race today. Yeah, it's nearly a 10-second gap for Joshua, who is currently net P2. I believe Jude's going to make a dive on Fifas now into turn 1. As he pulled it off. Now they're still side by side. Fifas just edging out ahead. Fifas just edging out ahead to keep the position from Jude. And I believe Alpha has just got past the McLaren of Dragonflies into turn 4 there.
And now we have everyone fighting around, seeming to have no action for now, apart from these two, Leo and Alex. Leo being on newer tyres and sending it down the inside of turn 11 at 8. But Alex might just come back as Alfa Romeo, as we have DSP Noah and Thomas within positions. I do expect DSP Noah to get past through there.
This typical G now comes into the pits only 2 laps later than the medium runners did. Could be a bit early, could also be to try and make sure they don't get too much of an undercut on him. Because what happened to oh, never mind. This Dragonflies now looking to be going for a move into turn 1 on Alpha. Alpha goes defensive. The McLaren obviously taking a wide line. Alpha sticks it in there and he keeps the position. But Dragon may get a run at him down into turn 4. No, he doesn't get the DRS. That's an incredible play by Alpha there to maintain P12. It may not be points, but it's still a great battle. Fifa's now battling the Ferrari of Poms into turn 8. He backs out for turn 10 as that's not a good place to go side by side. Looks like he's going to get the run though. Never mind, Poms gets a much better exit and he's using ERS to stay ahead. Much more ERS to work with than Fifa's has. Fifa's is going for the switchback. They're side by side round turn, I don't know, whatever turn number it is. And Fifas has made the move as Poms cuts the corner to try and avoid any contact. And he's lost a lot of time doing so. And that's P9 for the Haas.
Now it all seems to be settling down. We still have some people yet to pick. Thomas is one of them, but that will surely change as they slow down going into pit lane now, and they are going to fall a few positions behind, and they might not be scoring any points, but they are on medium, so it's all about how much they can gain 2 P10 from now.
And from the looks of it, Joshua is gaining enough a lap to be able to catch DP, as it's been, I believe, 4 laps and he's already gained 3 seconds on him. This battle will come down to the very last few laps for the race win. Schmithies are now within the DRS of Alex in the Aston Martin. He's going to have to make quick work if he wants to get back to fighting with Leo, as Cammy Boy's retired from the session and it's a full safety car. Now, what will people do? Will anybody pit? As DP's being caught up behind the safety car, he didn't have enough time to go into the pits. So this could give the people behind them, those two, quite a big chance. If one of these people go into the pits for soft, they could really gain some positions here. Not soft, medium, still wouldn't last the end. As Harry goes into the pits, most likely for mediums, is anybody else going to? The Haas of Fifas is. Looks like Jude, all the McLaren and the AlphaTauri both going side by side into the pits, trying to get ahead there. Neither of them did, but they might be able to whilst they're in the pits. Depending on who gets the quickest stop. Dragonflies was behind. Can he get ahead of the Alpha Tauri here? No, the Alpha Tauri stays ahead. Oh, Dragon and Thief, it's both gone on to softs. They could be wearing off by the end, but they will be a lot quicker for the first few laps.
I believe we did see one person start on the top tires. I believe that was a Hess. Was it Typical T or was it someone else? Or was it the... No, it was the GSRL Alpha in 12th currently. They started on the top tires, I believe, and they pitted around lap 8 to 10, so...
And another thing we did not get to mention is how this will severely ruin VP Roberts' race, as he's got 4 lap older hards than Josh. That gap he had was the only thing saving him at the time, and now he doesn't have it. And now he's given the chance to pit. I doubt he will, since so many people will have caught up. It would only bring him out P7 though, maybe P8. But he stays out, so does Josh.
Who was that going to the pits? It was Alex and Noah.
Noah and Alex.
Is it softs or mediums? It is softs for the Aston Martin and for the Red Bull.
Oh, when he's serving his 5 second... Wait, was it?
Yes, it was.
I don't know. Might have just been a glitch for me, but he did stop in the pits quite a while.
It was 5 seconds, but it did seem to be way slower than that. It seemed to be about 15.
Oddbod gets a 5-second penalty. Not that it will matter, seeing as he's so far behind everyone else.
I think he's actually stuck behind the safety car. So he's going to get lapped by everyone.
He did, the Aston Martin did just let him through. I'm guessing that's what he got the 5 seconds for. But the game, I don't know if the game would have told him to unlap himself or not.
But he is doing it now.
But that's not going to matter anyway, because there's no way he can catch up to the rest of the grid before the safety car ends.
It might delay the safety car going in. It might.
And even if he does, he's on 12.5 old hards. He'll be lucky if they last to the end.
I don't know what he did pick actually.
Because otherwise he'd lose loads of positions on the safety car. And then he definitely wouldn't be able to unlap himself.
A good pit now. Of course, taking a huge risk there. Seems like
I don't know if you come out ahead though. There's now it's only 3 people who haven't caught up. Those being the 2 Alpines, who may be able to redeem themselves, being some of the few people to change onto new tyres. And obviously Oddbod being so far behind everybody else. He is the other person yet to catch up with the safety car. And he is currently over a minute behind. Another thing to mention is Leo has a 3-second time penalty, which with a safety car, not super late, but over halfway through the Grand Prix, could be costly to him, especially with so many people being on quicker tyres behind him.
And Mr. Rodball now staying out on those 13 lap old hard tyres. Might he catch up? There is another lap in it.
So yeah, if the safety car stays out another lap, Oddbod should be able to catch up, but I doubt it will, so he will have to see.
This is about the time it goes into the pit lane, so, and it is going into pit lane, yeah.
So, unless there's another safety car, Oddbod has very little chance of catching up.
Let's see how DPR Roberts leads a grid away. It seems to be slow from DPR Roberts, maybe playing a little bit of friendship card to Alfa Romeo. Not actually that slow anymore, but warming up those 8-10 lap all hard tires.
Josh is going to challenge him into turn 1. DP goes defensive, not using too much ERS here. They're both on around 75%, and DP looks to be staying ahead, but no, Josh gets the better exit, and he's made the position for P1 already. Oh, but he's had a little moment, and DP's got straight back at him. They're side by side into turn 4. Ooh, it's very close to contact as Josh gets very close to going off track there. And I believe behind, Alfa's made the move on the Ferrari. A lot to keep up with here with so many drivers still in the race. There's some contact there between Jude and Alex on the exit of turn 8. As DP's lost the place to Leo. He's now dropped down to P3 as Leo goes off track. He's going to have to return that position. And he's still side by side with him. Not given much room by DP here. As the Haas of typical G is trying to make the move on the McLaren behind, but he's not been able to. At the moment, Josh really running away with this. Now Fifas has overtaken his teammate. He's up to P5 now, despite.
And now we've got the Red Bull and Haas going side by side with each other, and the Red Bull has to go straight on. Maybe they broke a bit too late, or everyone else broke early.
At the same time, I don't think you saw, but DP and Leo were fighting again into turn 1.
And now the Haas on soft tyres, on the back of Smithy. Smithy will force them out wide. Could they stick it? No, they can't, but they'll have a good chance at turn 8 if they can just stick on the tail for now.
And there's yellow flags, as I believe that's Alpine had a stinker, and so's a Ferrari at turn 6, I believe that is, gone off track.
And now we've got the Haas of Fifas on the back of Smithy. What could Fifas do?
Poms has retired from the session, retired on track, so, oh yeah.
And now we've got the McLaren on the outside of Leo.
Two Haas not seeming to work the best to get. Oh,
and they collide!
That's 4 cars caught aboard in the same collision. Both Haas lose their front wings. I don't know if there's damage to the McLaren or Leo, but this is going to allow both Josh and DP to run away with the 2 podium positions, unless one of the cars without damage on the fresher tyres can get past these other hard runners to get up and maybe fight for the win, which would be unlikely seeing as they have so much more pace in qualifying. So I think 3 cars side by side with each other there, like what, 3 pairs of cars side by side. As Oddbod's left the session, he's fully given up. Lots of people losing the rear there.
The Red Bull on the Haas of Fifas as we have AlphaTauri tapped and spinning at turn 4. They were caught between the McLaren and Ferrari.
Played like tennis there.
But now we've got MAR Harry. They're going to try it at the outside of turn 8. On the Haas driver, the Haas will give them space knowing they have a front win. And it looks like MAR Harry is going to force them wide as Harry gets the move done on the keepers, and will have DRS to just help them.
And at the moment, surprisingly, all of the hard runners, the people who stayed out, have not lost any positions.
We've got Alfa Romeo, Leo running wide, the through turn 11 already on board with that, and they just seem to really run wide, really not forced at all, but that allows Smithy through anyway, so they won't be complaining.
Now, Harry also got a 3-second time penalty. I don't know when that happened, but if he does get past Leo, he would be wanting to challenge for the podium positions, but with that 3-second time penalty, he's going to really struggle to. And somehow it looks like staying out on the hards was the right decision to make. But that could just be a mixture of luck, as well as Dragon goes off at turn 3 and he gets a 3-second time penalty, also limiting his chance of gaining positions, now meaning the only people who are on fresh tyres who could really fight for a podium is, well, Jude actually, because Fifas has front wing damage.
As their GSRL Alpha off at their turn 4, they seem to be caught up in something, and that has definitely slowed them down, as we've got Harry riding very closely to the back of Leo, who is on old hard
As
tyres
Noah
now.
makes an incredible dive into turn 10 there on the McLaren. He makes quite a large bit of contact with both the Haas and the McLaren. Maybe damage there, and he backs out of it, has to give the position back, because that was a really outrageous dive.
I think the FIA inquiry channel is going to be quite flooded
I believe
after
that's
this.
Alex going slow down the middle straight. What's happened to him? I have no clue. And Oddbod wants an invite back. God knows why, considering he's so far in last.
He's going to be a backmarker and take out all the front runners, probably. Oh, and Alex retires from the session. He's done that in the pit lane. And GSRL Alpha might also retire as they go into pit lane. But we have the two Alpines fighting each other, and Red Bull really sandwiched between this battle. But up ahead we've got Harry making a dive down the inside of the Alfa Romeo, and the Ferrari might just squeeze in there too. The Ferrari and Alfa Romeo are now forced side by side. We've got the Alfa Romeo on the inside. The Ferrari tries to stick it round outside. Maybe the Alfa Romeo grabbing a bit too much cover and forced out wide for turn 10 now. And now we've got Jude getting past the Alfa Romeo, but the Alfa Romeo is going to try a dive down the inside of turn 11, backing out of it quite smartly from the Alfa Romeo and sticking behind now. And we have Harry gaining on the back of Smithy, who is on hard tyres. Of course, we did mention how newer tyres will really help against those old hard tyres. So now we've got Harry closing up to the back of Smithy. They're gonna have DRS down the main straight. They both go now, and we have got a four-way fight for P3, the last podium spot. The top two seem to be running away with it, but now we've got Harry being unleashed and already past Smithy as Harry moves Red Bull up to P3. It seems a good race for them. As Tom leads the session, they are already DNF, of course. But we've got Tipsy and HS Moore fighting over the last point spot. It looks like everything is changing down there, but up front we have Jude now on the back of Smithy. Could Smithy get overtaken again by a newer tyre runner? So, what could Jude do? They're going to make a dive down the inside of turn 8, and they're going to run a bit wide, forcing the McLaren out wide as well with them. But now Smithy is going to back out of it. And maybe that was a bit dirty from the Ferrari, but they keep that position as the Alfa Romeo and McLaren behind rear wheels, and the McLaren is forced out wide at turn 10, and that loses them P5, and now down to P6. It has not been a good lap for Smithy so far. as Leo made that dive down the inside. And now we've got the fight for P10 really hotting up, as they might just get the Red Bull of GSP Noah involved in all of this. We've got HS Moore now gaming on their teammates. We might just see a few positions swap around here, as we've got a neutral car. They're going to be a sitting duck on the straight, and HS Moore now enabling that DRS, but neutral con will also actually have DRS, so that is very surprising. But dude up ahead, fighting MAR Harry now and closing the gap. Now we've got neutral con seems to have got the Red Bull. They're both on the new soft tyres. They've got the Red Bull dragged into this, as we see GSRL Alpha currently running only down in P13, so that's quite disappointing from them, as we can go to positions lost, and GSRL Alpha has lost one position.
There's quite a bit of contact there between Typical G and HS Moore on the exit of turn 8. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Yeah, I was writing on what was it, yeah. And we've got penalties still to serve, and that is MAR Harry with a 3-second time penalty. Currently they're defending from the back of Fast, gaining 2 in the Ferrari. And we've also got Leo. They might just lose 2 positions down to P7 if the McLaren of Dragonflies can gain just a bit of time to the back of their teammates. So let's see HS Moore again. They're fighting for a point spot, but currently they might not even get it if they do finish in P9. Smithy now onto the back of Leo. They're gonna have DRS, and we've got Alfa Romeo changing their line, and Smithy might just have to hold back making that overtake, but could they make it into turn 4, as up ahead we've got Duke and MAR Harry still fighting. Duke of course will know that they've got 3-second time penalty, but Smithy now being forced around the outside and nearly losing it. They definitely had a bit of a moment there, and now falling to P6 after getting the overtake done. And now who is that off? It is Beefers. They are not off, they're just in the pit lane after losing their front wing. We've got 2 now still riding on board with the Red Bull of MAR Harry. What could happen here? But we've got Smithy now. They're trying to make a move past Leo, and all I say this, Dragonflies is gaining, but is that a new time penalty for them? I believe it is. I believe they've picked up a 3-second time penalty. Well, they might have already had it, but that definitely limits their chances, and they might just end up finishing only P8. And we've got Zoom now on the main straight, but they've got a bad exit from turn 15, and we have got the last lap now as the Red Bull, Ferrari, Alfa Romeo and McLaren cross the start-finish line, and the dude thinking about sending it down the inside, but Smithy has, and they've got to move past Leo into Alfa Romeo, but do now with DRS onto the back of the Red Bull. They all know that the Red Bull has got 3 seconds in time penalties. The Red Bull is trying to fight the overtake from the Ferrari, but the Ferrari being forced out wide and off the track through turn 4, and that was very dirty from the Red Bull driver. And that might gain them a penalty, as MAR Harry purposely gone wide to force the Ferrari out, and the Ferrari now not managing to make a move, and they're going to be right in the hands of Smithy and the McLaren. And what could Smithy do on the last lap? Looks like we have some fighting still yet to make for P3, it looks like. And in this fight we've got GSP Noah as well on the back of Dragonflies, who seem to be having their own fight. We've got June now still on the tail of the Red Bull, but we've got Smithy. If they can get a good exit, it looks like the Ferrari had a pretty poor exit, and now we've got McLaren using all their ARS, could a power move past the Ferrari. The Ferrari goes defensive down the inside and now will force the McLaren out wide, but the McLaren gets the move done, and it's a drag race to the line. It's a photo finish as the McLaren manages to make a move past and up to P3 it is a McLaren podium picked up by Smithy in P3, and that was a great drive on the last lap between all of them.
What an overtake by Schmiffy too.
I believe
on the final corner of the
to
race.
say. And that is the end of the race, as we've got, of course, we've got DPR Roberts, and also, what was other name?
Josh.
Yes, it was a Josh. They both dominated the race, and it is a Mercedes podium. It's all Mercedes, in fact, and all Mercedes ends in podium. As we've got split in the trophy, and
the Ellie's character's ugly. Oh, I better get race director. So, it's Joshua taking the win. DP Roberts come in P2. Those two having a, well, nearly all race long battle. And then Schmiffy gets P3. Jude P4. Harry 5th. Then it's Leo, Noah, Typical G, Dragonflies, and Neutral Khan finishing off the top 10. Getting the first points for Alpine in this season for Tier 6.
Well, of
and
course.
Then the last of the runners being HS Moore, GSRL Alpha, FIFA's Mr. Oddbod, and Alex.
Joshua starting on pole position.
Oh wait, never mind, not Alex.
Anyway, that is the end of the stream. Leave the party real quick.